Welcome to the place where justice never sleeps. Here, every action gets a response faster than you can blink. Let's see who ends up behind bars the fastest. Let's get into it. Bro, this isn't a circus rehearsal. That ticket is already calling your name.
Last night.
Completely out of control after using illegal drugs, Wolfra used the knife to threaten bystanders and the police force.
Block him in right there!
He charged at a female officer with a weapon and even tried to hijack a police car before being stopped by self-defense gunfire. Justice was served with a 10-year prison sentence, proving that substance-fueled bravery always loses to the reality of the law.
Right here. We're not gonna, EMS can't do anything with him within the same machete. Okay?
Florida man never stops surprising us. Kevin Reardon made a terrible decision when he confronted law enforcement on Interstate 75 while heavily intoxicated. After a reckless drive that left his vehicle badly damaged, Kevin still thought he could outsmart Trooper Riley. At the hospital, officers discovered his sky-high blood alcohol level and a hidden treasure, a pill bottle carefully concealed in his rectum. A humiliating ending for someone who thinks they're above the law. 8 a.m., November 21st, 2025, in the middle of rush hour, Daviana Dean turned the streets of Little Rock into a deadly racetrack. Ignoring red lights and the safety of everyone around her, she thought she could break out of the ASP perimeter. But Officer Loftus wasn't having it. Seeing the huge risk to the gridlock traffic, he launched a thunderous TBI maneuver. The car spun 180 degrees and was completely subdued. The law has no place for reckless drivers like this.
Put our troop paint is 1064 resume.
The sound of metal crashing and a series of tense flips ended a 17-year-old's escape attempt in Georgia on January 29, 2026.
1050, radio rollover.
The Fayetteville Police Department and Unit 193 quickly secured the scene. The command, "Crawl out, hands up," rang out, forcing the suspect to crawl out of the wreckage in complete surrender. This is the ending you can't avoid when you try to challenge the law with speed. Wow, these guys are like going back to childhood. Not every big guy is a grown-up, clearly.
He is taking a car at gunpoint.
Watching that scene felt like the police were filming an outdoor shot for Mission Impossible. But in real life, there's no Tom Cruise coming to save you. You still get arrested like normal. Really? Turning a sofa into a vehicle? But hey, the kids forgot their helmets. Police questioned the suspect after finding her car blocking a fire hydrant on a busy street.
Well, you're illegally parked. You're parked in front of a fire hydrant. Yeah.
The situation escalated when authorities discovered she was driving with a suspended license and had an active warrant.
Come here. I'm over here. I know I've had enough.
Bro, stop touching me.
Now you're going to jail.
I'm not.
There you are.
Getting your license is just a minor mistake, but having a bad attitude when you're already wanted is the fastest way to land on the news and score a felony conviction.
Over here, sit over here. Have a seat, sweetheart. Thank you, I appreciate it. She's fine, she's fine, she's fine.
Hey, did you call?
A woman called 911 reporting that her cousin Caitlin was trying to kill herself by cutting her wrists with broken glass and drinking bleach in the bathroom.
There's glass everywhere. She tore apart the whole fucking room.
Okay, well, y'all back out of here. I'm gonna try to talk to her, okay?
Hey, Caitlin.
We're gonna see if we can open it first.
Caitlin. We're here to help you, all right? What's going on today? Caitlin, how can we help you today? What's going on?
Who's talking to me?
Officers arrived on scene to save her, but the situation quickly escalated when the suspect chose confrontation instead of accepting medical help.
Caitlin.
The tragic decision to attack the very people trying to save her life led to a heartbreaking ending that nobody wanted for this emergency call.
All right, hey, whoa, hey. Hands in the air!
You live here or are you picking up someone?
How many and what vehicle?
Police lights immediately shut down an illegal Airbnb party where nearly 100 teenagers were using drugs late at night.
Who's in charge? Excuse me now. You get out of my way or you want to go to jail?
While most people left, one teenager stayed behind and pushed himself into serious trouble after attacking an officer. From being a guest at the party, he suddenly became the one receiving a gift. And this time, the gift was a felony charge that couldn't be returned.
What else you got on you?
I don't got nothing on me.
I'm saying you got your wallet. What else you got?
Are you guys okay? Is everyone out of your yard and everything?
Loud, we have a kid sleeping.
Fired for slow deliveries and poor work performance, this driver decided to go back and steal his ex-company's semi-truck just to get payback.
22 Okay. Fire, you know where your fire extinguisher is?
He led police on an 84-kilometer chase riding on bare metal rims until the friction sparked a fire, sending the truck crashing straight into a deep ditch.
Come back here, back here. Do you have any weapons? Do you have any weapons? Okay, alright, we have to search you, okay?
Looks like he was finally on time for his court date. This act of revenge was worth 18 months in state prison and 5 years of supervision.
Hey, you don't have to get a squad car to come no closer. It's okay, guys.
All right, get in. Let's see them. Get in. Come on, guys. Oh!
Yo. You just giving us a ticket. Why?
Because you're parked on the double yellow line.
Not every conversation with cops has to be tense, and this one proves it.
We're waiting.
You're waiting?
Yes, waiting.
Okay, so are you waiting once you're parked or once you're driving? You can either be driving or parked. Right?
No, we're stationary. We're
You're
not either.
stationary.
Yeah.
Anytime. Listen.
Yeah, but like,
Can't
what
you
is
see this sign? It's a double yellow line.
Stupid,
Can't
man.
you see this sign? Can't you see the sign? Listen. Can't you see this sign? It's a double yellow line. Don't do it again. I am above I am the law.
You're not.
I am the law. That's why I'm giving you tickets. So you will pay for it and you will suffer. Good day, gentlemen.
Okay. Sorry, would have been here sooner, but
It started out as a routine welfare check until the stepfather suddenly hit the gas and sped away from the scene.
7814 Tamarack, 7814 Tamarack Lane. Put your hands out of the window! A-firm is taken off.
The suspect led police on a 160-kilometer-an-hour chase before the car finally came to a stop under a tree after hitting a spike strip.
Vehicles at 1050 to the curb, 1050 to the other curb, 1050 with the car, Adam Mary Nora 7880.
Copy 1050 north, cancel the car.
Fade bailed.
He's in there. He's in there.
Incapacitated? Get him out, pull him out, pull him out, pull him out.
Watch that crossfire. Let me see your hands. Watch me. Let me see your hands.
Open that passenger door. Got him, Cody? Yep. I'm on your back.
The result was 24 months in prison, a pretty steep price for a few minutes of recklessness, and a decision that everyone would probably want to rewind later.
Stand up. Oh, my bad.
break traffic? TDI, good TDI, good TDI.
We're home at 52 and 60.
Can you hand my officer your ID, please?
The chaos started when Emily was caught going 130 kilometers an hour in a 55 zone, sparking a breathless chase that only ended right at a funeral home.
Do you know your English alphabet pretty well?
Oh, yeah.
Can you say...
You know what?
Hang on.
Oh, my.
Come here, come here.
Stop walking away.
You're under arrest.
For what?
Put your hands behind your back. Listen to me.
No, I don't have to listen to you. My boyfriend is a f***ing police officer.
Okay.
Throughout her arrest, she kept bragging about knowing people in law enforcement to try and skate around the blame for her obvious drunk driving.
And you guys are doing this on purpose. You guys are... I have police friends.
Stop.
Let me out! Let me out! Why are you doing this to me?
We're going to the hospital.
You're doing this to me!
Turns out, knowing people in the force doesn't get you a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Can you zip on my purse, please?
Early morning, December 21st, 2023, Cincinnati residents woke up to a scene straight out of an action movie. A stolen Metro bus, number 2107, tearing down I-75. Realizing the danger of this massive hunk of iron, Officer Koa Hong made the call to take out the tires and disable the vehicle. This rare tactic worked perfectly, forcing the suspect, Carrie Sanford, to a halt at Ezra Charles Drive. The chase ended safely, sending a loud and clear message: no matter what you're driving, you can't outrun justice.
Hey, open the door. Open the window. What's going on?
Not much.
Do you know where you are?
Yeah,
Where?
on the side of the road.
Truck stuck in a ditch led police to a dangerous encounter with the driver under the influence of illegal drugs.
How do you mind that was out here?
Are you hurt at all? No. Okay. You don't have any weapons on you? You use any prescription drugs?
Yeah.
What kind of prescription drugs do you use?
Wellbutrin,
What is that for?
Anxiety, depression.
Okay. You use any narcotics?
Yeah, I have.
When is the last time you think?
That's Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
The suspect quickly escalated the situation by repeatedly spitting at the officers and making threats against their families.
How are you moving?
However, this arrogance and disrespect for the law paid a fitting price: a 9-year prison sentence along with a lifetime ban on owning weapons.
Is mine blinking now, Rod? Just him and I are just gonna hang out.
On the morning of June 11th, 2023, Randy Tipa stole a car in Tacoma, not realizing the victim's AirTag would give him away. Even after the tires were shredded by spike strips, Tipa kept pushing onto Interstate 5. The chase only ended after a pit maneuver sent the car out of control and it started catching fire.
Oh my god! Is it just you in there? Is it just you? She's the only one.
While the cowardly suspect ran off and left his passenger behind, officers rushed in and bravely pulled the person to safety. The vehicle was completely destroyed. 2 patrol cars were damaged, but no one was injured, and the suspect still ended up in handcuffs. Bro, you think this moment is gonna save your relationship? Trust me, this relationship will go far, but it will be at your girlfriend's steering wheel and gas pedal.
Out? Yeah, right there in front of the close.
Hey, put the knife down.
A busy store had to be completely evacuated after a man rushed in holding a kitchen knife, directly threatening public safety.
Sir, get out of there!
We're here to help you, okay?
I don't give a fuck, man, I'm done with this house.
Do not approach us or you will be shot.
Just put the knife down. Okay?
After more than 4 hours of intense negotiations that led nowhere, the SWAT team was forced to raid the building and subdue the suspect on the scene. Ruining a shopping trip for hundreds of people just to trade it for 18 months in prison seems like a way too expensive price for this guy's cry for attention.
Your body cam's off if you're still on.
Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground.
I'm telling you, I want you guys to help.
Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground right now.
Please help me.
Get down on the ground.
A reckless decision sent this 42-year-old man over a barbed wire fence and straight into a secure area of La Crosse Airport.
Turn over now. Turn over.
To help everybody else. No, it's important to help them. Bring me over there. I'm telling you.
Did you see this guy walking on Dawson Avenue?
I gotta go. I can't.
He rushed right out onto the runway while planes were operating, constantly screaming about a mission to save everyone in the terminal before being pinned down.
Listen, I want to help by disappearing and then doing it for everybody else. Trust me on this one. I never got around. I want to help them guys by getting away from everybody. I don't know my name because I can't know my name.
Wanting to be a superhero and save the world sounds cool and all, except the only thing Edward saved was a spot in lockup for the next 120 days.
You're gonna get goofy on us if we sit you up on your butt, right? Sit up on your butt. You're right there for me, okay?
Able to in the shopping center to Pita Pit. Looks like he might have just pulled out the knife.
Drop the knife now!
He's walking westbound through that park. Okay. Denver, he stopped. Okay, Able, make this a code 12. He's got a hostage. We're gonna need to make this code 12. What the do it? Has subject with the knife to his neck on.
Hey, back away, back away, back away, back away! Drop the knife! Out of the car, what the fuck? Yeah, Jesus! Yep. Got him.
She thought someone stole her parking spot, so she slashed the whole side of their car and denied it all the way. Then the cop showed her the Tesla cam video and asked, "Do you want to change your statement now?" Oops, looks like that barrier was invisible to him.
Wacht dan! Oei, oei, die keken me kwaad aan. Gelukkig zien die me niet.
Tell me your day went wrong without telling me your day went wrong. He didn't see the sign, didn't see the pedestrian either. It's fine, the cops will show him.
Stop screaming. Stop screaming. If not, you're gonna go to jail, okay?
I need to know all of your names because I'm gonna be reporting my first name. I actually do. Okay. I need to know your first name.
I think we'll have you.
No.
Julia, I'm the manager of the
Tell me how the
we get off property. This is way too distracting. Let's go across the street. Wait across. Go across the street. Come on.
Schmeat. Across the street.
Alright, you can go to jail. Flipper.
Oh! Get the off of me! Off of me! Dumb.
I have a little situation.
Sure. And the notes on the account show that their person ID was stolen.
A disguised wig and a stolen check from a guy she met on Facebook dating were the beginning of Stephanie's trip into handcuffs.
And the signature doesn't match. None of it is right.
Hi there, how you doing?
Fine.
A call to
Fine.
check your identification.
She has it.
She has identification? What's your name?
Denise.
Denise?
Yeah.
Do you have any other forms of identification?
She has it right there. That's all. I have.
You do too.
I mean, okay, it is what it is. I mean,
Stephanie?
and I was asked.
Stephanie tried to blame her financial struggles, but security footage exposed everything. A professional scammer carrying out a blatant scheme.
So we're going to take you up there if you're willing to go with us to speak to the detective, and we'll figure out everything here.
Her date ended with felony forgery charges and a mandatory $1,900 fine. He just lost two important things. The train, obviously, and his shirt. Still no idea about it.
This is crazy. Get out. Get out. I will get out. You want to fight? What are you even tripping for about something that didn't hit your car? Go!
You need to be more mindful. You need to think about what you're doing.
She acted tough until the Big Edition DLC version of herself stepped out. The cyclist's anger started from that risky cutoff by the car. Hard to say who's really at fault here. What do you think? Parking with zero awareness and expecting peace? Nope, karma moves really fast. Don't turn your convenience into someone else's hassle. This outcome is hard to accept, but certainly became the most memorable lesson about parking for the car owner. The crosswalk is pretty high in black today. Who came up with this idea? A gentle but very solid lesson on how to park properly. Why'd you stop laughing, bro? With friends like these, who needs enemies?
Go, 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 go! Why you stopping? You better ask, bro! You better...
You hyped him up once, and he got grabbed in half a second.
We call them all the time because they always up there fighting, breaking. So all I did, I went up there, I knocked on the door.
Stop interrupting him.
Like 2 seconds for me. It's cold. I was shouting.
What happened? Back inside. You're good.
It's a constant thing.
Yeah. Come on.
Listen to me before listening to him.
Come outside and talk to us. Come on. Okay. Then come here. Come here. No, come here. You're going to jail.
I ain't doing a goddamn thing, Mom. Why are you taking me to jail? I said I'm not going out. Don't. I have heart problems.
Turn around. Turn around.
Heart problems. I'm talking. Talking. That job is bad, bitch.
Wanna see how fast Karma can hit? I think his wallet is about to disappear.
She pregnant. Come on, stop. Keita.
Messing with a pregnant woman is already wrong, but pulling her wig too? Yeah. Get ready for the most wallet-painful fine of the month. A minor bump isn't worth trading for an extreme reaction. Road rage has never solved anything. It only makes everything worse.
I got the key.
The carjacking only lasted a few seconds because the main character here was clearly the teamwork of everyone around.
Hold on. What's your hand? Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground. Down, man. What you speak? In Spanish.
Nobody's scared of anyone, except that uniform. One single appearance and the whole fight gets reset. He treated the backup camera like an optional DLC he didn't install. Luckily, there was no one in the car. Right after he squeezed into the lane, the cop showed up like a scripted ambush.
This is fucking Karma!
And that's when Karma pressed enter.
Calm down. I'm out here. I'm from New York, and I'm out here by myself.
That rap battle turned into a rap with hands and feet situation. Less music, way more chaos.
Yo, this is wildin'. This is wildin'.
If Netflix doesn't bring them into the next season of Cobra Kai, that'd be a real shame. Full weapons and the way too intense spirit.
Oh, they got him.
be my witness.
A pointless road rage moment. He got nothing except hurting himself. He's not even young anymore, but still acting impulsive like a teenager.
So, McGrath, is okay? I'm talking to him, man.
You weren't talking to him at all.
No,
I think you're on
there.
I'm arresting you on suspicion of assault. You don't have to say anything, but they hold you.
Who are you?
Jump! You're not going anywhere. Someone calling you.
Come on, help him. Mate, calm down. Police, please.
He's police!
I am a police officer.
And the ending's obvious. In the end, gravity and law enforcement are the only ones who win. Thanks for watching Fast Instant Karma. No matter how fast they run, people who ignore the safety of others can't escape justice. If you enjoy high-speed chases like this, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. See you soon.